The most positive it was to make activities and like play games.
Class is like really interesting. We have like role play, we write our own script and act.
Mostly they just will give us some games like that we can use English, like English speaking.
Basically they made us memorize specific questions and answers, and most of the questions, oral questions, were
These English teachers, because we have to do TOEFL tests, basically that's what they focus on, so we get straightforward question like facts.
Class is kind of boring. Our English teacher was like just taught us about grammar and didn't let us talk or discuss.
Well, as long as it's a relevant question or comment, they're usually quite open to discussion.
Most of the time they will give us like positive answers like okay, so what do you think this will, like how it will work out, or ask the whole class to answer it. But some teachers are giving negative like response like, how could you don't know that answer? Like this is the basic. How could you don't know that? I just
way of education, like Chinese education, like teachers, they don't. If they ask you a question, your answer has to be right, or they will be unhappy and you will be super awkward.
They would be very accommodating. They be very they would could encourage the students to ask as much questions as we wanted.
Seeing they're rather patient and well paced with their tone and.
Courtney, how could you don't know that? I was like, why would I know that? What? You don't know that? I was like, no, never mind. And then she turned to other students.
Not only care about the test scores and how we did. It's not like they didn't care at all about our progress and things like that, but they would pay more attention, a little bit more attention to our personal lives as well.
The most important thing was the test and the answers.
I think they're caring people. It's just because like the limited time in class, they cannot show their like caring for me. They want straightforward.
Teachers, they do care about their students, but some teachers, they just care about do you finish your homework and do you do well in your test or exam.
Most of the time they want a straightforward answer, but later they will ask you why would you do that, like choose that answer, and then we have to explain based on the evidence, and then sometimes based on
tries to ask a lot of questions related to factual knowledge from the book, like grammar stuff. So there is just one answer for them.
Tell me what happened in this.
Teacher always asks the thing that we often repeat in class. So most of the students has the tonal memorization of the question, so they will answer in the certain ways.
Professors didn't like students to take to each other. They used to say if you want to ask about something, ask me, not someone else.
Nope, we seldom have discussion with classmates. It's just the English class is all about lecture. Our English teacher will talk more, and we are just take notes.
They definitely did encourage us, all of the students, to talk to one another, because we would.
questions that I did not know how to ask in English.
Times I would get kind of like intimidated because I remember feeling kind of like embarrassed to ask, about like ask the teacher to go over what, like go over
questions.
The material was generally made outside of the country, and it was made that it can fit in any kind of culture.
Sometimes they would record what we say, like write down what we say and like bring it up in some future classes and just for discussions on.
This is not a usual case in my class as what I experience, because I would just feel like I'm not comfortable with this kind of situation if the teacher brings everybody else attention to myself, because we have a lot of students in one class. I just feel like it's kind of awkward just make myself stands out. Like
in Egypt, any student will know a lot of words and he knows a lot of grammar, but he doesn't have confidence in talking. So the one thing it will be make more activities, conversations, and so that he practice talking.
Like open topic questions, like about there's no right or wrong answer. It's just about like what's your feeling after reading this article? What's your feeling about the author or the character in the book?
my ESL teacher could try to ask us more open questions versus the factual knowledge questions in our class. I will be more interested in engaging with the topic, and also I would prefer to have more group activity.
If no one's holding a textbook in class, they will actually engage to each other in class and using their brain to have a conversation